Alright, so we got a bit of a problem right here. This thing here is going to cost me about $1,000 to replace. Historically, one of the biggest expenses people have sits right on the street. In this video, I'm revealing what that is and how you can save thousands of dollars every year. Car ownership is an American obsession. Kids draw pictures of cars, teenagers pretend to drive them, and adults fantasize about their dream cars. Socially, a nice car represents success, wealth, with a twinge of coolness. Many of us want a car that we can call our own, even if it's just to tell public transportation to off. But it's not so easy anymore. In recent years, the rise of the cost of car ownership has outpaced inflation and stopped people from building wealth.
The cost to own a vehicle is at an all-time high.
AAA says the average cost to own a car is $894 a month, the highest it's ever been. As a result, transportation continues to be the second largest monthly household expense, and it's only going up. So let's break down the cost of owning a car and show you how I save thousands of dollars from it every year. Let's use the 2020 Honda Accord as an example. This is one of the best-selling economical cars in the US. The cash price for it is nearly $26,000, but the true cost to own over 5 years is almost $38,000, or $633 per month. Even though it's considered an economical car, it's still quite pricey. The median American monthly income is $4,000, which means 16% of your income will go to car expenses, meaning it's going to be tough to build out your wealth over time. But in reality, car ownership could be costing you a lot more money. Here's why. When it comes down to it, many of us think buying a car is similar to other big purchases, like buying a house, but that couldn't be further from the truth. When you buy a house, you're investing in an asset that can appreciate in value over time. As you pay down your mortgage and the value of your property increases, you build equity in your home. As a result, in the future, you'll probably be able to sell your house for a profit. But when you buy a car, the opposite happens. Economists call this depreciation. Basically, it's when the value of something goes down over time. At the dealership, that Honda Accord is worth $26,000, but once you drive it off the lot, it'll only be worth $20,800, instantly 20% less. Over the next 5 years, it'll depreciate further by $10,225 thanks to added mileage, scratches that you swear you have no idea how they got there, and stubborn pizza stains. The way to reduce depreciation is to look for cars that hold their value better than others, like the Kia Rio, Mazda 3, or Honda Civic. Studies show that these cars held 84% of their value after 5 years, whereas cars like the Ford Expedition, Volvo S90, and Audi A6 only held 50% of their value. After some research, I discovered new cars depreciate the most during the first few years. So consider buying a used car and let some other unlucky fellow, who didn't watch this video, take that initial depreciation hit. But it can't just be any used car. The optimal point where you will have the highest chance of getting the best price and the least amount of future price depreciation is getting a used car that's 3 to 4 years old with 24,000 to 36,000 miles on it. By the way, if you want to learn how to build a wealthier and healthier life, sign up for my free weekly newsletter, Rethinkable, link below. If you ask 10 different people on a scale of 1 to 5, how much do you enjoy paying for gas? All 10 will say 0, obviously. The average American spends between $150 to $200 on gas every month. Over 5 years, the Honda Accord will cost you $9,131 in gas, depending if you drive like a turtle or like Don Toretto. Whether there's geopolitical tensions, economic turbulence, or your gas station just accidentally puts the decimal point in the wrong place, when it comes to paying for gas, it feels like it's always out of your control. But that's not entirely true. The best way to save on gas is to reduce the friction needed to move your hunk of metal forward. In other words, make your car engine work as little as possible. Things like having underinflated tires, waiting too long in between oil changes, and driving around with a person in your trunk makes your car less efficient. Also, turn your AC off, keep your windows down, drive slower, and my favorite way to save money with gas is with Upside. I'm not sponsored by them, I've just been using them for a while now, and I want to share this gas saving hack with you. So whenever I'm low on gas, I'll open up the Upside app, look for the best gas deals around me, claim it, go to the gas station, fill it up, then upload the receipt. In 24 to 48 hours, Upside will send me cash back that I can redeem to my bank account or through gift cards. If you download the Upside app, link below, and use this code, you get an extra 15 cents per gallon in cash back the first time you fill up. Again, this isn't sponsored, I'm just sharing how I'm saving on gas so you can too. But these are all just band-aids to the bigger problem. The cure is to choose a more fuel-efficient car, like a hybrid, electric, or this, which could save you thousands of dollars each year. But most people don't have $26,000 in cash to buy a car. Financing or borrowing money is the way around this. I remember when I almost fell for the biggest financing trap when I got my first car. At the dealership, the salesperson offered me to put $4,000 down at 8% interest rate over 3 years, with a monthly payment of $480. I didn't have much money at the time, and $480 per month was quite a bit of money, so I asked if they could lower the monthly payments. They said sure and offered to do $420 a month spread over 4 years. Paying $60 less a month might initially seem like a great deal on the surface, but it's a trap. With the first 3-year financing plan they offered, I'd end up paying $17,280 after 3 years. But with the second plan, I would end up paying $20,160, nearly $3,000 more thanks to the longer loan term. When it comes to financing, the worst thing you can do is look for convenience. Oftentimes, people go into a dealership, pick a car, and apply for financing directly with the dealer, then drive off with their new toy. The problem is this is usually the most expensive option. With your Honda Accord, you'd end up paying nearly $5,000 in financing fees alone. For dealerships, their financing products usually have the highest profit margins, way more than actually selling you the car. Because fortunately for us, dealers can't mark up the actual price of the car too much because the actual price is publicly known. So they offset this lower profit margin with shady financing tactics. So what's the better way to buy a car? Your best bet is to get pre-approved for an auto loan with the bank or credit union before you step foot into the dealership. Bring your pre-approved quote to the dealer, and during negotiations, ask if they can do better than your pre-approved rate. If they can, you win. If they can't, you still win. No matter how much we don't enjoy seeing half our paycheck disappear to Uncle Sam, taxes are unavoidable. The same applies to buying a car, unless you're okay with tax fraud, which I don't recommend. With the Honda Accord, you'd end up paying $2,187 in taxes and fees. When you receive your car's bill, you're guaranteed to see a couple of line items. Registration, aka TTL, tax, title, and licenses, usually around 10% of the sale, destination charge, and safety inspection charge, which is exactly what it sounds like. When it comes to reducing taxes and fees, there's not too much wiggle room. But some states like New York, California, and Colorado offer tax incentive and exemptions to get people to choose electric vehicles over gas. Next is one of those annoying things that you don't want to do, but you technically need to, like exercising, eating spinach, or popping a pimple before a hot date. Most people think getting insurance is a waste of money. Like it'll cost $4,475 to insure your Honda Accord. You think, what a ripoff. You're a great driver, you use turn signals, you only go 20 miles over the speed limit, and you don't scream when an asshole cuts you off. Oops. But all it takes is half a millisecond for something bad to happen, knock on wood, and you'll be glad you didn't have to pay out of pocket. When it comes to paying less for insurance, call a bunch of different insurance companies to get quotes: Progressive, State Farm, Geico. But don't just go with the cheapest option. I remember when someone accidentally rammed my car a few years back, I was just sitting in a parking lot eating pizza. I had no idea that I would spend the next few weeks calling and texting the vicious attacker, for lack of a better word, just to make sure that they provided the necessary information for the insurance claim. I unknowingly purchased one of the cheapest auto insurance plans, and it didn't come with an insurance agent to follow up with the other party. Carefully review the plan so you know exactly what you're getting, or in my case, not getting. Like some plans offer additional bonuses and discounts if you're a straight-A student, have been accident-free in the past 3 years, or if you take a defensive driving course. With access to nearly 500 car insurance providers in the US at our fingertips, don't get married to any one provider. The trick to get the best rate is, at least once a year, call different insurance companies to see if anyone else can offer you a better rate. Chances are, other insurance companies will happily do what they can to take you on as a customer. Naturally, it's easier for us to ignore problems than face them head on, like pretending you don't see the warning light on your dashboard for the past 6 months. It takes time and effort to go to the mechanic, hope they don't scam you with unnecessary repairs, and act like you know what the heck they're talking about. The Honda Accord will cost $6,834 in maintenance and repair costs, and the more you avoid them, the bigger and more expensive the issues become over time. Ignoring your check engine light, tire pressure warning, or squeaky brakes can lead to catastrophic failures down the road. Broken sensors, catalytic convert, you get the idea. With an almost unlimited amount of car tutorials on your phone, you don't have to go to the mechanic for every little fix. In a couple of minutes, you can learn how to do an oil change, jumpstart your dead battery, or turn your car seat into a bed. The true cost to own a car could be tens of thousands of dollars more than what you originally budgeted for. The good news is, here are 3 simple strategies you can use to reduce the true cost of car ownership even more. The first and most straightforward way is to just wait until the end of each quarter to buy a car. Like most businesses, dealerships have monthly and quarterly sales quotas to hit to get company bonuses. Salespeople are more likely to offer competitive deals and lower prices when they're up against the clock. Next, get dealers to compete with each other. I negotiated the price of my first car in 20 minutes while sitting on the toilet at home. Here's what I did. I looked up the lower end of the average sale price of my car on Kelley Blue Book. I called a bunch of dealers in my area to see who can meet that price. Once I had someone committed to that price, I called back the other dealers to see if they can beat that number. By the time I was done, I had saved thousands already without even stepping out of my bathroom. Next, see if it makes better financial sense to lease a car rather than buy one. We all have different reasons to get a car, whether that's to drive to work, go on road trips once in a while, or to impress your hot date. If you only need a car for a few years or less, leasing it could be a good option. No long-term commitments, lower monthly payments, and less maintenance and repair costs. Despite how expensive it's gotten, car ownership continues to be a goal for many. Here's how you can determine how much car you can actually afford. The 24-10 rule. Use it as a framework to make sure the car you're getting won't destroy your wealth. First, the 20 is your down payment. You should at least be able to put down 20% of the price of the car from the beginning. Some lenders will allow you to put less down and instead charge you higher monthly payments, but this is a bad idea. Generally, the more you can put down from the start, the better. Next, the 4-year limit. Don't agree to financing terms longer than 4 years, because the longer you let the loan run, the more you'll end up paying in interest. And sometimes shady lenders could include a clause that says interest rates can increase at the 5th-year mark. Next, aim to spend 10% or less of your gross monthly income on car expenses like loan payments, insurance, and maintenance. But hold on, even if you save thousands of dollars a year from this video, you could be missing out on even more. If you really want to build wealth, you need to learn this secret Japanese strategy to save more money. Watch this video next to understand how this simple strategy transformed millions of lives.